What's up guys? Today we're going to be doing my live show placings for Wrenglade Live 2022. I apologize, this video is a little late compared to the experience video that I just posted 2 weeks ago. So yeah, anyways, we're only just getting around to it now. So we're gonna do my OF traditional results first, and then we're gonna do my customs and a resin, because I only took one resin to the show, last. I also want to quickly show you guys the raffle prize that I won. So I entered the raffle and I got the grab bag for the show. So here we have a really cool notebook that has Wrenglade and then art by Charlie. We also got a tote bag that has Wrenglade, which is really cool. I love this and I'm going to use it a lot. We also got some goodie bags with a sticker on the front. It has some pens, it's got some business cards, it's got some stickers and a envelope that has some more stickers in it, which is really cool. I'm yet to open it up and have a look. And then I also got this little stablemate that was also painted by Charlie. She did a fantastic job painting this little girl. She's so cute. Okay, so the first model we're gonna start with is Hizadukes. Now, I am going to tell you guys the show names for each of these because I showed these guys with their show names, whereas in the other show, I only did their barn names. So, this is Hysterical Wizard. His original name is Hizadukes. He was entered into 2 classes, but he only got 1 placing, and that was in his breed class. So he was entered into Sport / Warmblood, and he got a 4th as a Frisian Sport horse. Next we have Angor Management, or Angor, and he was entered into 2 classes as well, but only got 1 placing. So he was entered into Spanish as an Andalusian, and he got 4th in that class, so he did really well. Next we have Saya, or Pegasus Punch. He was entered into 2 classes and he got a 2nd for his breed class. He was entered into Spanish and he was a Spanish Mustang and he got a 2nd for that class, which is really cool. And then he was entered into a color class. Now I don't think shows typically do color classes for OF, but I think this was a really cool idea. So I entered him into Spotted and he got 2nd in that class, so he did really well. Next we have Escaping Worlds, or Excalibur. He was entered into 2 classes as well, so 1 breed, 1 color. For his breed class, he was entered as a Criollo horse into Spanish, and he got a 3rd in that class. And then for his color class, he was entered into Sabino, and he got a 2nd place. Moving along, we have probably the highest achiever at the show. So this is Wild at Heart, or Wakanda. Now he was entered into 2 classes. So for his breed class, he was entered into Other Light as a Morgan, and he got 1st place, which was awesome. And then for his color class, he was entered into Bay / Blacks, but I think they split the class from memory because there were way too many Bays and there were way too many Blacks. So he got a 2nd in that class, so he did really well. And because he got a 1st in his breed class, he went into the champion ring and he came out with a champion, which I was literally so thrilled about. And then, because he got a champion, he was entered into the overall breed champion / reserve, and he came out with the original finish Reserve Supreme. So he did really well. I'm so proud of him. I don't know why, but judges really love this guy. There is something about him that they really like. Next we have Total Freedom, or Teenan. He was entered into Other Light as well, and he was also entered into color, but he only got 1 placing. So he was entered as an Akultique, and he got a 3rd place in his class. Moving along. Oop, I'm just going to move that out of the way. Okay, next we have Rainbow Crash, or Crash. He was entered into 2 classes as well. He only came out with 1 placing, so he got a 4th in his breed class, which was Appaloosa. Moving along, let's move this way. Okay, here we have Valiant Pumpkin, or Voltaris. He was entered into 2 classes, so he was entered into quarter horses, and he got a 3rd. And for his color class, he was entered into Roan, and he got a 3rd. Next we have All 4 Diversity, or 4. He's my Dundee, and he was entered into his breed class and he came out with a first. He was entered as an Australian stock horse. Next we have Uncommon Jedi, or Kanan, and he was entered into a breed and a colour. For his breed, he was entered into Other Pony as a Connemara crossed with a Fjord, and he got a first, so he did really well. And then for his colour class, he was entered into Dun, and he got a second place. Moving along, we have Vendel, or Virtual Assistants. He was entered into 2 classes as well. However, he didn't get a placing in his breed class, but he got a placing in his colour class. So he was entered into Bays and Browns, and he got a 5th place. And then lastly for the OFs, we have Searching for Clues, or Sherlock. He was entered into 2 classes as well. However, he only came out with 1 placing in his colour class. He was entered into Dilute because he's a sooty buckskin. So yeah, he got a first in his class. And because of that, he went into the solid colours or base colour champion ring, and he came out with a reserve. So he did really, really well. Okay, so now we're going to move on to all of my customs / resin results. So let's start with Michelangelo, aka Manifested Trouble. He was entered into 2 classes, so 1 breed, 1 colour. For his breed class, he was entered as a Hanoverian into Warmblood, and he got 2nd. I think there were only 2 models in those classes though, so technically he came last, but it's fine. Then for his colour class, he was entered into Chestnut, because he's a Flaxen Chestnut, and he got 2nd in that class, so he did pretty well. Next we have Iolia, or Astronomical Earthquake. He was entered into 3 classes, so 1 colour, 1 breed, and workmanship. For his breed class, he got a 1st place. He was entered into Spanish as a Lusitano, so he did really well in that class. Then he was entered into Dun for his colour class, because he actually is a Dun model. He has a massive stripe down his back, so he's a Chestnut Dun, and he got a 3rd in that class. And then for workmanship, he was entered into solid colours, and he got 3rd in that class. I think there was quite a few models in that class, so he did quite well, all considering. Next we have Kingdom Hearts, or Catalyst. He is one of my favourite Nakota customs. So he was entered into 3 classes, so 1 breed, 1 colour, and workmanship. For his breed class, he was entered into Spanish as a Kaiga Mustang, and he got 2nd. I think there were 3 horses in that class, so he's in the middle, but he did alright, all considering. Then for his colour class, he was entered into Dun / Grueler, and he got 2nd. He is a really nice Grueler though. And then for his workmanship class, he was entered into solid colours, and he got 4th. The next model is Inquisitor, or Dark Inquisitor, as he's known. He was entered into 2 classes. He only got 1 placing, so he was entered into Andalusian / Lusitano, and he got 3rd in that class as an Andalusian. Then next we have King of Dreams, or Kovu. He's one of my favourite customs on the Duende mold. He was entered into 3 classes, so 1 colour, 1 breed, and workmanship. For his breed class, he got a 4th, I believe. Yes, 4th in Andalusian / Lusitano. Then for his, for his colour class, he was entered into Dilute because he's a buckskin, and he got a 3rd. And then for his workmanship, wait, I think that's wrong. Never mind, hold on, wait. 2nd for his breed class, I've got them around the wrong way. 3rd for his colour class, and then it was 4th for workmanship. So he was entered into solid colours and he got 4th. Okay, that's better. That makes more sense. Okay, moving on. Here we have Finish in Blue, or Finn. He was entered into 3 classes as well. So 1 breed, 1 colour, workmanship. And he got a 1st in his breed class. I think there were only 2 horses in that class though. So yeah, he got a 1st in that class. Then he was entered into Roan for colour, and he got 1st. And then for his workmanship class, he got a 2nd, but there were only 2 models in that class, so technically he got last, but it's fine. And then, because he got a 1st in his breed class, I think it was his breed class, or was it his colour class? No, it was colour class. Because he got a 1st in his colour class, he went into the champion ring, and he got a reserve champion for I think it was modified colors, so like Roans, Dilutes, all those different colors. So yeah, very proud. Then we have Astrid, or Across the Seas. She was entered into 3 classes as well. So she got a first in her breed class. She was entered into paint. Then, oh god, sorry ribbon, I didn't mean to do that. No, it's not gonna do its thing. Okay. Then she was entered into color as a Sabino and she got first. And then for workmanship, she was entered into broken colors and she got 3rd in that class. Now, because she got first in her breed and her color class, she went into the champion rings for both of those. So she got a reserve champion for her breed class. Yes, that's right. Reserve champion for breed, and then she got a champion for color. The judge really liked her. She has a lot of amazing details, this model, so I wasn't surprised that she got a champion for the color class. Moving on, we have Charlie, or Chatty Draconic. So he was entered into 2 classes. He came out with 2 placings. So for his breed class, he was entered as an Australian stock horse in other stock and he got first. And then for his color class, obviously he was entered in grey and he got a 3rd in that class. I think there was a lot of greys in that class too, so he did really well. Alright, moving on. We have one of my ponies. So this is Flash, or Fast as Lightning. He was entered into 2 classes as well, so 1 breed, 1 color. He only got 1 placing and that was in his breed class. So he was entered as a Connemara in European/UK pony and he got a 1st. So I'm really proud of him for getting that. Then we have one of my giraffes. This is Vlad, or Violation Granted, and he was entered into 2 classes. Yes, he was entered into 2 classes, so 1 breed, 1 color. He got a 2nd in his breed class, which was UK/European draft. He was a Clydesdale, or was he a Shire? I can't remember. I think he was a Clydesdale, but he got a 2nd in that class. And then for color, he was entered into Bay and he got a 4th in that class. And lucky last, we have my resin. This is Alfor, or Altean Alchemist. For his classes, he was entered into 1 breed, 1 color, and then workmanship. So for his breed class, he was entered as an American Mustang in Feral and he got a 1st in that class. For his color class, he was entered into Dilute because he's a Sooty Palomino and he got a 5th in that class. And then, lucky last, we have the workmanship class that he was entered into, so solid colors, and he got a 5th in that class. So he did really well. Rightio, so that is all of the placings for Wrenglade Live 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. If you want me to do more placing videos in the future, let me know because I will be entering a few more live shows next year, which is really exciting. And yeah, please don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!